There are tons of different currencies in Rise of Kingdoms, and one of the most important of all the currencies in the whole entire game is legendary commander sculptures, or gold heads for short. Today, I'll be talking about basically every way you can acquire yourself some gold heads. I'll go over free-to-play ways, semi-free-to-play ways like things that cost gems, and then I'll talk about things that cost money. If you are looking to make as many gold heads as you can within a short period of time, especially if you're preparing for the ZHUGE release, this is a video you must watch. Gold heads are the most important currency second to gems because you use them to upgrade legendary commanders. Without gold heads, you can't skill up commanders, and then basically you can't play the game. So the first main way to get gold heads is just by logging in. Once you reach VIP 10 or above, you'll get a specific amount of gold heads per day. So the VIPs of note are VIP 10, you get 1 gold head a day. VIP 12, you get 2 gold heads a day. And then VIP 14, you get 3 gold heads a day. This is really, really good, and you should be trying to push VIP 14 fairly quick. After that, you can't get any extra gold heads. Even at VIP 18, it's still just 3 gold heads. The other VIP levels just give you more buffs, as in like exclusive buffs here, and you also get some extra materials and stuff. Other than that, you get the max amount of gold heads per day at VIP 14, and I think that's really good because VIP 14 is certainly achievable as a free-to-play. I don't get too many gems from my money spending, like maybe I get possibly 100,000 extra a year. I know that sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme, it's not too much. So being able to grind VIP as a free-to-play is certainly reasonable. Spending all your gems on VIP is also definitely a good option until you reach VIP 14. And I will probably be getting VIP 14 or max spinning ZHUGE because, you know, it depends for the channel. Another way to get gold heads, which is very free-to-play, is Ark of Osiris events. So this is basically just an event where you battle against other players. You really do want to be doing the Ark of Osiris at least once per week. There are a bunch of times every 2 weeks, sorry, it's every 2 weeks, a bunch of times where you can do Ark of Osiris. There is just so many options. You can do it at like 10 UTC on a Sunday, 20 UTC on a Saturday, 4 UTC on a Saturday. There will always be an alliance in your kingdom running Ark of Osiris. Preferably, you will want to be in that golden battlefield so that you get 10 gold heads if you win and 5 if you lose. But even if you are in the silver battlefield, it's nothing to joke at. You're still getting 5 gold heads even if you lose. And then, if you win, and 3 gold heads if you lose. Along with this, Ark of Osiris does give you a lot of gems, 2,000 if you win, and then 1,000 if you lose in the gold battlefield. And then on the silver battlefield, you get a bunch of VIP instead. So once again, this is just extremely high value, and is certainly an event you should be doing, especially to get a bunch more legendary commander sculptures. Then you have basically seasonal events or weekly events that come around. For example, War of the Ruins. This is usually a seasonal event, and you can get basically an extra 2 gold heads from it, and it's a fun event, so I don't mind that. Champions of Olympia, which is currently not around, I would have streamed it this Saturday, is also another way to get gold heads. The Lucky Stall events, things like this, they give like an extra gold head here and there using speed ups, etc. Also, you can get gold heads from the Kahar's Bone Whistles in Season of Conquest. Basically, that is a special item which you can use to summon a specific barbarian, which has a rare chance of giving you a gold head. Another way to get gold heads that is extremely, extremely rare, if we go into my campaign, we go into the expedition, you can see here, these are expedition chests. So these Treasure of the Warrior Queens have a chance to give you a legendary commander sculpture. This is a generic legendary commander sculpture, so it can be used on any commanders. I've gotten maybe 3 or 4 of them in total over about 2 years of playing. I don't know if that's very lucky or not, but I've gotten about 3 or 4. You can't get any generic legendary commander sculptures from the metal store, but it is welcome to note that A, you can obviously get Ethelfled sculptures, and B, any gold key commander sculptures can randomly spawn in this shop, which you can purchase for like, I think it's 1,500 or 2,000 currency, so it's not a bad deal, and it's probably worth it in my opinion. Speaking of the gold chest, you have the gold chest. In these chests, you can open them with a chance to get a legendary commander sculpture. These are only for a limited amount of commanders, and the list of commanders I will just show right now. So inside the rewards list on the golden chests, you can see the commanders you have are Caesar, Frederick, Cao, Martel, El Cid, Cleopatra, Sundok, Ishida, Mehmed, Mulan, Ragnar, and Thutmose. Nothing too crazy there in terms of commanders, but it is a welcome thing to have, especially commanders like Mehmed, who is quite good. It is also important to note the golden chest and legendary chest as well. They added legendary chest to be a permanent thing, even if you're not in KVK, and you can see I just got a gold head out of that. So you can obviously get gold heads from the legendary chest and Heart Desire event. You can also purchase gold heads in here whenever you get enough points from getting either commanders you've already expertised, which conveniently just happened for me. And that's basically another way you could get gold heads. You could also purchase extra sovereign keys in here to get another chance at either getting more commanders or just getting more points for that shop. Another thing to note is that in this shop right here, Every time you spend 200 on that chest, you can get yourself 10 commander sculptures of your choice, whether or not you own the commander. So for example, I could get 10 XY sculptures if I got 200 on this legendary chest. One thing to note, if you do choose a commander, you already have expertise, it's just going to give you those credits. So if you just want to get a bunch of free legendary commander sculptures that are from like the shop, if you'd rather get 5 shop commander sculptures, you can just take 10 commander sculptures from a commander you've already expertised. For example, if I reach 200, I'll probably just take some Cyrus the Great sculptures to get myself 5 generic legendary commander sculptures. But if you are looking to max a commander like let's say Harold or Nebu or something, you can definitely take 10 of the sculptures from here, and it's certainly a nice idea. You've also got KVK related events. So we know that in the Eve of the Crusade or the preparation season, individual ranking, you get up to 60 gold heads if you get rank 1. That's really tough, but it's an option. And really, you could probably get within rank 1000 if you're fairly active, and you'll get at least 1 free gold head, so who could complain? It's always nice to get your kingdom those extra points as well, and getting the gold head's a nice side bonus. There are no gold heads on the kingdom one, but I mean, you're still getting a gold head if you get within the rank 1000. Another thing to note is that KVK based achievements, for example, the KVK shop, you can actually purchase yourself gold heads in here as well. These are not too bad if you get the 50% off, but the full price ones are not as valuable, and I do recommend kind of steering away from them because you have options like accessories, which are just way better. The materials are also a good option in here, just as a quick side note. You can also get a bunch of gold heads from things like the Path of the Greatness, which are just basically quests. So in here, if you get a bunch of honor, you control the ziggurat, you get more gold heads. So KVK, you get a bunch of gold heads, and then whenever you capture your ruined Crusader fortress, you can actually get yourself a nice 20 gold heads by trading in old commander sculptures you don't need. It will come up in your War of the Conquest section right here, basically this tower with crystals in it, and it's a nice way to get gold heads as well. You can also get them from basically these events. There's one section here that sometimes gives gold heads. I don't think this KVK has it, but usually there is a section here that gives gold heads. In terms of getting specific commander gold heads, there are a few ways to get those. So Bluestone Scrolls, you can get them in here from like the Commander re-release chest. These are only pre-KVK 3 commanders. Also, the Mightiest Governor is another specific commander way, so you can't get generic gold heads from the Mightiest Governor, but you can get gold heads for a commander of your choice, depending on which troop type is coming around. For example, right now it's leadership, so I could pick any leadership commander to get gold heads for them. Also, something that comes around every now and again is a team draw event, and that can also give you a bunch of gold heads. That depends on your luck though, but you do have to own the commander for those events. Same thing for Heart's Desire, you can get a bunch of specific commander gold heads for that, but you can't get any generics from Heart's Desire. At least I've never seen anyone get a generic gold head from Heart's Desire. You can also get gold heads from the Orotar Tavern, which I've made a video on before. It is basically another tavern that gives you a bunch of gold heads for a commander of your choice. However, you can't really choose which commander it is, and it's only a specific number of the newer commanders, like Boudica Prime, Henry, etc. Now, moving on to the semi-free-to-play ways. So you've got events such as the Esmeralda's Treasure, so this event right here where you can actually purchase these tokens for money. You will probably need to purchase all the 50% off tokens to reach the 10 free gold heads here. I say free because you can grind those gems. You can also get them from events such as the Wheel of Fortune. That is an event that comes around every now and again. Every Tuesday of the Mightiest Governor, so the second day of the Mightiest Governor, that event will come around and you can get gold heads in that. You've also got the 7k gem event, which I made a video on before. That's the best value for gold heads. And basically, you're getting your gems back anyways. It's very, very free to play friendly. However, it's going to cost you 7k gems to actually initiate the event. So keep that in mind. There are also events that you train troops and push your power. So like the Kingdom of Power event. That's one way you can definitely get a bunch of gold heads. I think I got 20 when I did it. It's the Game of Power. So if you get rank 1 in that, you get 20 gold heads. And you can do this as a free to play, but it's going to cost you a lot of speed ups and resources. So keep that in mind before you do it. Same thing with Zenith of Power. You can get gold heads from that, but it's going to cost you a lot of speed ups. Bad value gold heads, you can also get them from the VIP shop for 2,000 gems a pop at VIP 13. These are rubbish value, but they are an option. One thing to note, basically any events that cost gems will go in this category. There is really no best event that I could point out right off the bat. Like Card King's not very good. Wheel of Fortune's pretty okay. Team Draw is really good. So there are some events that are much better value, but right off the top of my head, I can't remember which ones are the best, except I think Team Draw is number 1. Moving on to the pay-to-win methods to get gold heads. For non-specific commander gold heads, first of all, you have Gem Rush events or basically the recharge events. This is actually specific commanders, but usually with Gem Rush or basically the recharge event, you can get yourself up to like 30 generic commander sculptures, which is really, really good. With Gem Rush, you can pick basically any commander that you do have and you can pick their gold head. So this is kind of like a generic gold head thing. So even if you do pick, let's say, Henry, you buy up to like the 2000 tier and you claim the 1000, you can switch commanders and then claim the 2000 tier. it's basically getting generic gold heads anyways. Also, in the super value bundles, you can purchase yourself the Living Legend bundle. I think this gives you like a total of 5 gold heads a day. It's piss poor value, but it is an option. But I definitely would not be recommending it at all. Another method to get generic gold heads is to go into the Lucerne Scrolls, and you can see when you purchase it, you do get a few generic gold heads along the way. I think a total of 6 generic gold sculptures is what you would be basically looking for. Also, whenever you summon a commander, so if I summon my Joan Prime, you can see that when I do that, a bundle pops up. This is really good value. $8 Australian for 10 gold heads. I won't be purchasing it, but it's a really good way to get gold heads if you are spending a little bit of money. For specific commander gold heads, there are a few options. You have obviously got the daily special offer. This is probably the best value for gold heads in the game by far. You can purchase gold heads in here for any of the commanders that have been released. Next commanders to come out should be archers, so we'll be looking at Nebuchadnezzar and Cyrus, and I think they will just keep releasing these commanders slowly over time. Another way to get the specific commander sculptures is through Lucerne again. You can also get extra of these commander re-release chests, and it's very good value if you're not spending too much money. Occasionally, in rare situations, Lilith will actually give you gold heads for updating your game. I got 2 a while ago. I can't find the mail, but if you update your game on time, sometimes they give you gold heads. Sometimes if there's a major issue with the game and they repair it, they will give you some gold heads as compensation, especially if it was like a major issue affecting KVKs, etc. There will also be very rare situations where they recall a commander, basically, where they say, if you've invested any gold heads in them, we will be giving you those gold heads back. It has only happened once to my knowledge, and that was with Artemisia, because she had some type of typo in her active skill. I think it was saying that she could damage up to like infinite targets instead of up to 3 targets, and people invested in her not knowing that was the case, and then Lilith revealed that this was a typo, and they refunded everyone all their gold heads from Artemisia. So that's another way that you can get generic gold heads, but these are rare and I wouldn't be relying on them at all. It's kind of just a bonus when Lilith does give A, extra gold heads, or B, recalling a commander because of an issue that they did have. Another thing I forgot was the monthly special offer, which does come around obviously once every month. Maybe it's like once every 3 months. I can't remember exactly. You can purchase the max tier of this, and it gives you like 5 gold heads or 5 legendary materials. You get to pick. The gold heads aren't the best value from this bundle, but if you are going just to try and get as many gold heads as you can, then it's not too bad of a method of getting gold heads. However, I think the 5 legendary materials are certainly better. That being said, I think we've come to the conclusion of about almost every way to get gold heads, and now you know basically how to maximize your efficiency in getting gold heads. Make sure you're doing Ark every week, push your VIP as a free-to-play. If you're spending, get the bundle that I told you to get, which is the Writer of History bundle every time you unlock a legendary. If this video taught you something, or even if it didn't and you just enjoyed, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going for 1,000 subscribers by June 27th when I start my all Siege restart account. It's going to be a very fun time where I use only Siege commanders. If you are excited for that, then please do consider subscribing to the channel because it's going to be an insane time. I also do want to thank you for watching, and I hope I see you in the next one.